Some years ago, a hilarious scholarly analysis of Moby Dick's second sentence and Ahab's quest for global dominion. The second sentence of Moby Dick plunges us into Ishmael's decision-making process with a nonchalant shrug. Some years ago, never mind how long precisely, having little or no money in my purse, and nothing particular to interest me on shore, I thought I would sail about a little and see the watery part of the world. This seemingly casual remark, full of humility and humor, is a world apart from Captain Ahab's grandiose obsession with dominion over creation. Yet, when viewed through the lens of the novel's larger themes, it becomes clear that Ishmael's offhandedness serves as a philosophical counterpoint to Ahab's megalomania. Melville's sentence sets up the story's central tension, the distinction between curiosity and conquest, between wandering and wielding power, and between seeing the watery part of the world and trying to control it. Ishmael's humble wanderlust versus Ahab's cosmic power trip. Ishmael's decision to go to sea is driven by a lack of options, a sense of aimlessness, and a desire to explore. He isn't chasing glory or grappling with existential despair. He's simply bored, broke, and ready for an adventure. His tone suggests a man resigned to life's ebb and flow, comfortable with the unpredictability of the world. Compare this to Ahab, whose relentless pursuit of Moby Dick embodies humanity's refusal to accept the limits of its power. Ishmael's philosophy, Ishmael's desire to see the watery part of the world, reflects a willingness to observe rather than dominate. He's curious but unassuming, content to marvel at the ocean's mysteries without needing to bend them to his will. Ahab's obsession, Ahab, on the other hand, is driven by rage and hubris. For him, the watery part of the world is not a place to explore but an arena in which to assert control. His quest to kill Moby Dick is a defiant rebellion against nature's vast indifference. Ishmael's journey begins with an open-ended question. What's out there? Ahab's journey begins with a declaration of war. What can I conquer? The sea as a stage for human folly. The phrase, "see the watery part of the world," encapsulates the novel's central metaphor. The sea as a mirror for humanity's ambitions and limitations. Ishmael views the sea as a vast and unknowable entity, a space that exists beyond human comprehension. For him, the ocean is a source of awe and inspiration. Ahab, however, sees the sea as a battleground. Where Ishmael is content to drift and observe, Ahab seeks to impose his will upon the waves. He views Moby Dick as an affront to his authority, a symbol of the universe's refusal to be mastered. This clash between Ishmael's humility and Ahab's hubris underscores the novel's exploration of human folly. Having little or no money, the economic angle. Ishmael's admission that he went to sea because he was broke adds a layer of irony to his journey. His decision is practical, even mundane. He needed a job and the sea was hiring. In contrast, Ahab's voyage is an economic disaster. His obsession with Moby Dick jeopardizes not only his own life, but the financial stability of the Pequod's investors. Ishmael. As the reluctant worker, Ishmael's motivation is relatable. He's the everyman who takes a job out of necessity, not passion. His attitude reflects a pragmatic acceptance of life's uncertainties. Ahab is the reckless CEO. Ahab's single-minded pursuit of the whale turns the Pequod into a corporate nightmare. He abandons profit, safety, and reason in favor of a personal vendetta, embodying the dangers of unchecked ambition. Ishmael's economic humility contrasts sharply with Ahab's grandiose expenditures, highlighting the absurdity of Ahab's quest. Nothing particular to interest me on shore, existential detachment. Ishmael's remark that he had nothing particular to interest him on shore speaks to his detachment from the human world. He embarks on his journey, not out of necessity, but out of ennui, driven by a desire to escape the monotony of life. Ahab, on the other hand, is consumed by his inability to detach. His obsession with Moby Dick becomes a metaphor for humanity's struggle to reconcile its desires with the indifference of the universe. Where Ishmael drifts aimlessly, Ahab's every action is fueled by a desperate need for meaning, comedy, and the contrast. There's a dark humor in the juxtaposition of Ishmael's modest goals and Ahab's cosmic ambitions. Ishmael just wants to sail about a little, while Ahab wants to confront the very forces of creation. Ishmael is content to be a passive observer, while Ahab demands to be the protagonist of the universe's story. This contrast highlights the absurdity of Ahab's quest. By positioning Ishmael's humble wanderlust against Ahab's grandiose delusions, Melville invites the reader to question the futility of humanity's attempts to control the uncontrollable. Conclusion: Wandering versus waging war. The second sentence of Moby Dick encapsulates the novel's central tension between curiosity and conquest. Ishmael's decision to see the watery part of the world reflects a humble acceptance of life's mysteries, while Ahab's quest to dominate the ocean represents humanity's hubristic desire to impose order on chaos. Ultimately, Melville's novel reminds us that the world is vast, the sea is indifferent, and sometimes the wisest course of action is simply to wander, observe, and let the waves carry us where they will. Ahab may rage against the currents, but it's Ishmael's quiet detachment that ensures his survival and his story's enduring resonance. As Ishmael might say, "Call me Ishmael, and please don't call me Ahab."